Hey everybody, clearing, clearing, my voice cracked, pink rose quartz, and I'm still traveling, so still not in my usual spot, but let's get into this. So let's see, what are the lessons that the Divine Masculines are going to be learning in the near future? What can we see for the Divine Masculines in the near future? What is a big, beautiful lesson that's going to be coming through for the Divine Masculines on this journey? Six of Coins, reciprocity, equal give and take. Okay, let's see how that is going to play out. What is it we can see from the DM side of things? What are they going to experience in their reality that will help teach balance and reciprocity? Act as if, lay a solid foundation, and sing your own song. Okay, so this world is what we make of it. When we are true to that song, we are laying the foundation of authenticity, and we are the only ones qualified to see our full potential and where it could go. So Divine Masculines are understanding that if they want truly to give and receive in an authentic way, that they are the only ones qualified to forecast how to begin now to create the eventual outcome that they do want. So they have to show up with their full potential now and start putting that out into the world on a new level. I'm going to pull some clarifiers and see how this applies. So for the Divine Masculines, I'm going to ask a little bit more here. What are the Divine Masculines observing is out of balance or not in reciprocity? Freedom. I just heard being comfortable to speak what's on the mind, to not have a filter, to open the heart, to be genuine, to be unafraid, to communicate without pretense or too much buildup, but to just say it how it is without fear. So that I'm getting for many Divine Masculines, they haven't felt like they could speak frankly and have it received the way that they intend it. That can be interpreted in so many ways. So let's see what the Divine Masculines know they need to demonstrate in order to have the reciprocity. Ten of Cups, they've been going through the motions and expressing the expected people-pleasing successes. They've been sort of not communicating what would truly make them happy. So Divine Masculines haven't been really saying their Ten of Cups fully. They've been alluding to it, hinting at it, suggesting certain things, but they haven't just come out and said, wow, I just heard that they would like a baby with you. For instance, there is a small child on this. So that's going to apply for some. Some are starting to think about this more traditional family unit and possibly about children or not. For some, they may really genuinely not see children as something in the cards, for instance. So children are a big theme here, but this can represent passion projects. It can represent so many other third energies that can exponentially be expressed in a love like this. So they haven't been telling you the deepest truth. They've maybe been feeling out certain things, but not being frank with you. I'm going to get a clarifier on what the Divine Feminines need to know about. Let's just say that third energy is some potential in this connection for growth. Children are the epitome of the archetype of that. So it may not be a child, it may be so many other examples of that, but what can we know for the divine feminines? That the divine masculines want to open their heart and talk very, very openly, constructively, I heard, about these third energies, these potentials that can come in. What do the divine feminines need to know at this time about this? The star, it's all part of the destined becoming, I just heard. So where the divine masculines haven't been frank with you, it's been a developmental stage for both of you, for both twins. And so trust the process, trust the unfolding naturally, divine feminines. There's no right or wrong, it's a collective becoming, and everybody has their spectrum station on the scale of this massive awakening I just heard. Okay. So divine masculines are understanding the leadership of speaking into existence that which they want to see in the world. They are now knowing what they want. Okay, so thank you, a divine creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space about these connections, on the mind space? What are they consciously thinking on the heart space? How are they feeling for their divine counterpart? What are they wishing for these connections? What are the actions that they are taking towards union, either directly or inadvertently? What is the biggest challenge at this time? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? And where is the energy going? I'm just going to pull one card. What do the divine masculines wish the divine feminines knew right now about the connection? What is it on the heart space of the masculines, if anything specific? What would they like the divine feminines to keep in mind at this time? Revolution. What goes around comes around. Every side of the picture, every side of the coin, they want to know, they want you to know that there are cycles, that they represent growth rings like a tree, that they see your connection as having these revolutions where there are, I heard, polar pairs of discovery. So one side of the coin and then the other, on various themes and perspectives, and that it's a taking turns. The divine masculines are saying that they're catching on to this idea that these cyclical pairs of exploration. I have personally never thought of this. So thank you, divine masculines, for bringing this through. That the divine masculines are seeing that in one cycle of learning together, the masculine perspective is entertained or validated or seen for what it is. And then the flip side happens and the feminine response, or vice versa. The feminine assertion is delved into and then the masculine rebuttal. There's like this polar balancing act that the feminine and masculine are doing on this journey, and it comes in revolutionary pairs. Boom! I have never looked at that. If any of you have seen that, please do comment below, because it's fascinating to me that we get this sharpening stone of the masculine and the feminine, and we get these flip-flop. That's cool. Okay, divine masculines, what is it? Thank you, divine masculines, for interjecting right then. That was like for hijacking my reading. But it is your reading, because this is divine masculines. Okay, the conscious mind. What can we see for the divine masculines regarding the connection? Hierophant in the reverse with judgment. So they're seeing something in a non-traditionally spiritual way, or non-traditional spiritual way. So their eyes have been open to something being the key, that they've been getting the dogma of religion or righteousness or appropriateness wrong, that they've seen the error of their way. They interpreted something as gospel that was flipped. with that message about the revolutionary pairs, the feminine and masculine, it's almost like they were interpreting a feminine thing through masculine lens. This could be patriarchal stuff being seen through and seeing more of a goddess interpretation, I'm hearing, for some. So there is some sacred, holy, feminine attribute that they are now seeing the wisdom in. I'm hearing it's the intuition. So the masculine is on the verge of seeing an unconventional interpretation or a validation of the feminine intuition. There's something that's going to be very much validated for the masculines, that they were trying to fit the feminine in a masculine box. And now they're seeing the complementary aspect. What else can we see? Yeah, they see they got something wrong. They got something wrong that they were moralizing. Something that you come by naturally as a divine feminine viewer, that the divine masculine was deeming as less than. They are now seeing the error of that, or will shortly. They'll see the key to why it's valid. There's something. I'm going to pull a clarifier. What does this have to do with? What is this epiphany the masculine is continuing to have that was spiritually frowned upon in some way, energetically frowned upon? What is this thing that the masculines are being enlightened to, awoken to in the connection or by their feminine? What is it? What spiritual validation are the masculines giving the feminines? The abundant universe will provide, embrace the in-between, and life is a mystery. Going on faith. Walking through life on blind faith, I just heard. There's something of your free-spirited energy, divine feminines, that the masculine logic, rationale, reason could not wrap the mind around. It's the heart, it's the intuitive flow, it's the spirit moving like the air. And know your worth and be at home. So I'm hearing that they thought that you were ungrounded, but now they're seeing that you were triumphant. I just heard that you have embodied home energy, and so you haven't had to cling to material things in the same way. They see you as untethered, and they thought that meant you weren't grounded in some way, divine feminine. So divine masculines are seeing that the feminine ease and grace and flow, it was frightening to them, but they are now understanding the wisdom in being less rigid. Okay, that is such an epitome of the feminine essence in many ways. Okay, what are the masculines seeing on the heart space, feeling on the heart space? They're wanting to start to take action with love offers, coming forward, acknowledging your awesomeness. They are wanting to tell you. They're wanting to clear some things up too that they feel that you may have assumed about their behavior or their actions. They want to give of themselves to you, divine feminine. Whether you want it or not, they want to celebrate you. I just heard. Yeah, they want to acknowledge specifically something from the past. Their actions in the past, something the masculines said or did is no longer, it's keeping them up at night. It's not sitting well. They want to apologize here. I am not a reader that typically talks about the masculines apologizing, because I feel like we can have a lot of closure and forgiveness, and it doesn't require the other person. When we're talking about unconditional love, we really do get to a place of wholeness, but part of that also is accountability, and the masculines are feeling Convicted, accountable on the heart space for something that they did that went against, was contrary to your very valid knowing regarding the connection. So there's something they're acknowledging here, that you were more grounded. Specifically, that word grounded came out again. Your ease, grace, flow, your open-mindedness, your ability to roll with the punches, I just heard. The circumstances of this connection, and also the masculine's inability to be pinned down or dependable in some way. They are now seeing that it wasn't that you were disinterested, it was that you were whole. They're seeing your connection in a new way. They're seeing you as, you could have taken action in the past, but you didn't because you didn't need to. It wasn't that you didn't love them. It was that you didn't want to chase or convince. They may not be thinking of it in those terms, but they do want to tell you they appreciate you for having stood by them somehow, through something they threw at you, or through something the circumstances threw at you. Interesting. Okay, what did the Divine Masculines wish for the connection? They want to kind of come out of hermit mode and figure out what to say to you. They want more communication. Yeah, they want to be more brave to just tell it like it is, be frank with you. We just got that message. So they know that, they want to get to know you. They want to have you more regularly in their life. They want to have more of a friendly rapport. That best friends card that came out to begin with. Oh no, I started this reading and then I stopped it. Oh, there was a card that came out. I had a little 2-second beginning thing. I don't remember why I put it away, but the best friends card came out to begin with, and then that it's coming back in again. So yeah, they really do want to validate your, there's the 10 of Cups in the reverse again. They want to be more honest with what really would make them happy. Instead of testing you, instead of feeling you out for certain things, they want to actually have some difficult conversations about real things, initiate that, but they want it to be in flow. They're looking for an opportunity for this. I'm getting a lot of preparing for real conversation coming in here, but not wanting it to be forced. What action are the masculines taking at this time? Oh, the Hierophant again and the Magician. So we already had the Hierophant here, having this on the conscious mind, that there were non-traditional ways of looking at you, the connection, that they were getting things wrong when they were too heavily relying on tradition. Here we're getting that they want to manifest a new tradition. They want to actively write a new script for this day and age, I heard. A new framework, not an antiquated dogma, I just heard. So they want to revamp. They want to recreate the spiritual wheel. Oh, less through the patriarchal lens. And they're in deep contemplation, the Hermit for the second time. So they do want to come out of the hermitage and communicate what would really make them happy, but they also want to have that translate into a larger world view. So it's like, as they prepare to talk to you about these things, Divine Feminine, they also know it's going to impact the world at large. So this can be that once it passes the test between counterparts, then it's truly a sacred, valid thing that can then be stood upon as a foundation in career, in community, in life path. This is very significant. So, I mean, Magician, Hierophant, and Hermit, 3 major arcana. This is the scribe. This is the alchemist. This is the high priest. Ooh la la, Divine Masculines. You are stepping into your high priesthood. We have seen for the last couple of years this high priestess energy for the divine feminines, and here we have this mission igniting for the masculines, the high priestess, the high priesthood coming in. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines at this time? Feeling trapped and powerless regarding the twin flame, stepping out of the comfort zone, going towards this because of living situation. This is the Queen of Coins in the reverse is uncertainty on the home front. There could be a lack of understanding of what they could offer at this time for whatever reason. Could be financially, could be legally, it could be domestically, it could be a distance, it could be divorce related or children related, something there's a distance still on emotionally, mentally, or physically. For whatever reason, there's still something standing in the way logistically here. Part of it is the way the masculines are looking at the logistics. They're saying that there is an impasse that they don't know the solution to, but it is a matter of stepping out of their comfort zone. There are solutions here. It's really that dogma that they're okay, so they're going to apply the free-spirited example that you demonstrate, divine feminine, to solving this problem I'm getting. Whatever this logistics problem is, they are now taking your connection sincerely enough to go back to the drawing board and, I heard, start praying for a real solution on how to bring this connection closer to home. And for some, there's that idea of parenthood and a child here. So that is a really big theme in the energy. It's about generational transference of this love or community influence or a legacy purpose kind of energy going down in the history books, I just heard. So there's something, innovations, third energy. This is the challenge. Logistically, they're trying to figure out how this can happen with you, divine feminine, because in all ways but one, I just heard, they've solved the logistics, but there's still something that's keeping the masculines fearing it can't be done with you specifically. That's going to be different for each scenario. What is the solution? They haven't seen the truth that sets them free yet. So divine masculines, there is a way of looking at whatever this logistics problem is. There is a way of looking at it you haven't seen yet. There is infinite possibility. There is an angle. This is Archangel Michael's sword of truth, and it's in the reverse. So there's a message from the energetic realms that's been trying to get through to you, divine masculines, that solves this logistics problem. This is the Seven of Cups that is all the options. In the reverse, it focuses on the unconditional love. There is a loving perspective that cuts through the confusion, the illusion, the options, and sets you free here with whatever this logistics issue is. There is a solution. Don't forget to ask for it. Yeah. Ooh, and passion ignites. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. So divine masculines, this is the secret to your spark, the sexual connection, the intimate and life purpose, aliveness. This is the missing piece. When you see whatever this is that slices through all of the what ifs and said, oh, that would work, whatever this answer is, it's going to kick off a new passionate beginning as well, and it's going to give you a lot of energy to go forward. This is the leap of faith, the one wand that you just have to decide which one to take here, to leave the known comfort and go forward. And with this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, whatever this is, Divine Masculine, that you've been telling yourself is comfortable or expected or safe or predictable, it's not actually. It's actually causing you a great deal of discomfort if you're honest with yourself. And it reflects you being in a more trapped mindset. You initiated whatever this previous situation was initiated when you weren't as free as you are now, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically. So don't delude yourself, Divine Masculine, that your situation is more beneficial for you currently than it is, because I'm seeing here that it's actually a false sense of security, and that once you see the truth of that and what could be done, it's going to ignite an energetic chain reaction that's going to give you the empowerment to come out of whatever the scenario is that you are feeling hesitant to leave. Whoa. What is the direction this connection's going in? Temperance and the Five of Cups for the second time. So we've already had the Five of Cups for the Divine Masculines somewhere in here, about wanting to speak on something that happened in the past, the forgiveness, clear the slate from this new balanced point of healing. So there does seem to be some communication coming, an apology, unconditional love. So Divine Masculines want to tell you, Divine Feminines, that they've seen something differently now. They've seen that something they've said or done was acting out. It was coming from a place of imbalance. It was coming from a place they now regret because they have seen the light in a different way. They don't have all the answers from what I can see. They're still working on logistics, but they're coming around to seeing how your connection is of more benefit, and it's more long-standing, and it's more productive, and it has more potential than they have told you they thought it did in the past. That was a mouthful. And clarify Two of Cups. The Five of Cups in the reverse does highlight the Two of Cups, so they've seen the love on a different way. They have seen that this love didn't come in the box they thought it was going to. So they weren't used to recognizing the gift because it wasn't in gift wrap with a tag on it. They had to discover that it was for them and that it was a gift, is what I'm hearing. They didn't realize it was the answer to prayer. Okay, so for Divine Masculines that this reading has resonated with, what is it we can see at this time for the Divine Masculines? We are getting preservation. I just heard you were in a time capsule for these now moments, Divine Masculines. Part of you recognizing this gift was you being ready and accountable and able to steward this gift once you accepted it. And so part of the qualification is getting to a place where you can see such a subtle, beautiful, pure, unconditional thing and value that to the degree that you do see it as a gift. That's the irony. It's been there in plain sight all along, but you haven't been able to accept it because you need to love yourself so deeply and be in alignment in order to feel like that's the legitimate right choice. When you're not in alignment, those things don't appeal. And so you are coming around to seeing now that this is, I just heard wholesome. And this connection has been preserved in waiting, but your Divine Feminine has been growing as well. So it's been a dualistic process, or a dual process, a tandem process. And for the feminines, adventure. So Divine Feminines, that free-spiritedness that you have been demonstrating because you've known your worth, because you've been taking that leap of faith, following intuition, this adventure. You are on a perpetual adventure, and acknowledge that. Just keep doing what you know is good and right and true, albeit counterintuitive, and keep going. Treat it as such. Don't get into the victim mentality and all of that. It is a grand adventure, the grand yoga. Okay, everybody, many blessings. Bye for now.